So, a life system in the Stalker 2 games. Is it overhyped or it's just amazing simulation system? Let's speak about it. Again, I'm not saying it's bad or good, I'm just saying maybe we can do it better, or at least developers. So first of all, what is a life system? So a life system is basically a simulation that's running in the game all the time on all NPCs while you play. And regardless if you see them or not. So if you over here in the middle of the map looting and there's a bunch of NPCs around you, you don't see them, you don't hear them, but the game will simulate them. Like if this character will come over here, the game will simulate all this path. And if they start fighting this red guy, the game will start to simulate and calculate the battle. So basically, there is a battle, a real battle, going on somewhere on the map. You don't see, you don't hear, but it's happening. You're probably thinking, dude, this is amazing. And yes, it is. It is amazing because if you're gonna pass by, you're gonna see a battle, you're gonna stumble to the middle of battle of people fighting, and you're gonna see, damn, that's cool. And it is cool. But what it's not cool, it's very intense on your CPU because while this game on this correct state optimized we know it's not optimized very well. Imagine the game needs to do all of this simulation while you're playing. Like your FPS gonna drop to 10 if you're gonna be here and there, for example, there's like 3 factions fighting for this outpost, and you're just looting. You collecting some medic kits, and your FPS gonna drop to 5, and you will not understand why. Why? Because there's a huge battle on the other side of the map. But you're gonna tell to me, hey man, this is the price that we need to pay for this amazing system and to feel like a part of the living zone. Maybe. But let's think about other. So let's see this simple example. There's 2 NPCs with 2 paths, right? And they have 4 intersections that they can meet, right? 4 points where they can meet and fight each other, right? So basically 25%, okay? If we make it bigger, we have 9 points where they can meet, and so on. So if we understand this, we understand that there is a probability of all of this can happen. What is the probability that it will happen? So let me show you what is the solution that may be better than the whole A life system, because the A life system is going to be very heavy on the CPU. And we're speaking about the game that's running bad right now. So one of the complainings that people on Reddit saying is that the NPCs are spawning in front of you because there is no the A life system is not working in Stalker 2, and so basically the game is spawn NPCs in front of you and they interact with themselves, right? So what I'm saying, yes, it's not cool to see NPCs spawn in front of you, but why not to do it better? So we can make a first circle. The white circle is the view distance, is what the player can see, and the blue is the extended render distance. And it's something that will start render. You can't see it, but it will start to render it and simulate it. So for the example, if you throw like numbers, like there's a chance of 4% that there's going to be fight for this outpost over here, down here. Cool. So they will spawn and start fighting only if you come closer here. If they will start to be inside the blue area, you can't see the blue area. Remember, it's out of your view distance. But the game starts to simulate and to render already. So when you get closer, you're gonna meet the battle only beginning or in the end maybe. It depends how fast you will come, right? Or you can add a more probability, like sure, there is 4% probability of being a battle of this outpost. But there is, let's say, 50% that the battle will start from the middle. So when you reach this area, there's going to be outcomes. Maybe the red guy will already be dead. So when you will come over here, you see some dead bodies and the outpost of this green guy. And we can do this with every interaction in the game. So if you walk in over here, we can like drop over here like a random percentage of like 9% percentage that this guy and this monster will fight, right? So when you get closer, will be the simulation start to work only when you get to them. So you don't need to waste your CPU resources all the time. So only when you get closer to them, and there's a 10% that this interaction will even happen. So if it do happen, they start to fight and you will see them fighting. And you can, again, as I told you, drop like another 50% that it's gonna be outcome, or the monster win or the purple guy win, whatever it is. So basically what I'm saying that a live system is cool and stuff. Maybe it will be cool if it's like a big strategy game that you can see from above all these people walking and interacted with each other. But in the first person shooter game, it's waste of resources, like waste of computer resources and your FPSs. It's something that you can calculate with the probabilities. And of course, like to make it feel real, if you come over here and sure, this let's say the purple guy is dead, and you will move away, the game is gonna need to remember this, sure. But even in the A-Life system, the game is gonna need to waste resources on remember the dead bodies, even if you're not in the view distance. So sure, in my case, you're gonna need to remember this too, right? Even if you will pass it by, the game is gonna need to remember here is a dead body with loot and the monster, and you don't need to remember the monster. You out of the view distance, you can release the CPU from the monster. You don't need to calculate him anymore. You just need to remember the dead body. Again, with this example, like if there's like a 4%, will be outpost, and let's say there's a 4%, there's a outpost, and another 20% that there is going to be a battle, and another 30% that the red guys will win. Sure. So when you come over here, the simulation will begin 4% that this encounter will even happen, 20% that there's going to be 4% that there's an outpost, 20% that there's a battle, and another 30% of that 20% that the red guys will win. Sure, whatever. You will come and you can throw it another, and let's say another 50% that it's already in the middle of the battle. Sure. So when you will come by, after all this simple calculation, you don't need to simulate. It's just a probability. You just drop a dices, and whatever it's fall off, this is what the player gonna see. Sure. So he will gonna pass by, gonna see outpost in the middle of the fight, fighting with the red guy, and there's a chance that the red guy will win, but the red guy is lose. You look at this from far. Cool. There was a battle. And you walk away. Sure, the game is gonna need to remember about the green guy and the outpost, because this is something that you already saw, but the red guy, you don't need it. Well, you do need him. The game is gonna need to remember the bodies of this green man, but this one, the green and the outpost itself, you don't need to simulate it. You can dump it from the memory, and when you come back, you return the outpost. Like, you're gonna respawn again and gonna start the simulation from the beginning. I hope that you understand what I'm trying to say about the A life and the probabilities. It was a little bit hard to explain, but if you think it's a good idea, or if you think that the A life system is better, please tell me in the comments. I really would like to hear what you think about it, because when I first hear about the A life system, I was thinking, wow, this is kind of cool. That's kind of cool. But then I remember that it's coming with a price. You need to simulate, and like most of the games today, they're so performance heavy. You need like very expensive to computers to run them. So this can just make it even more heavier. The Stalker 2 game is working very bad. Like it's optimized not very well at all, and this system can make it even harder, like more heavier. So yeah, that's about it. So, yeah.